With step around pirouette, please make sure that you have first revised your step around technique, which is covered in a previous tutorial. Now, with the pirouette, the grip that I'm using is an under the armpit grip or wrist roll, like so. There are also many different grips for pirouettes you can use, such as waiter grips. But for this tutorial, I'm going to talk about the classic pirouette grip, which is involving a wrist roll. So even before we add in the step around, let's talk about that wrist roll, as that is often a thing that I see commonly done, how do we say, not in the most effective way. So with my inside hand nice and high, I'm going to bring my thumb on the same side as my fingers, so that my back of the hand can turn to the pull by placing my little finger upwards towards the ceiling. Or if you're confused, imagine that you want to see what time is it. Place that really high and on the back of the pull, so that you can feel the pull against the back of your hand and against your knuckles and back of your fingers. You want to really press this hand into the pull nice and hard, so that way you know where it is at all times. Going underneath your armpit, pressing your hand to the pull, and as you turn out back to the center, that hand is going to follow, so that the palm will be facing the pull to re-grip, to help you transition to your next move. So in making this one clean movement, it can be quite tricky. Often what happens is people start to turn, then they remember to roll their wrist, like, oh, I haven't rolled my wrist yet, and that can be a bit tricky. Or sometimes they forget to roll it at all, and they end up here like, oh yeah, wrist roll, which makes your pirouette feel very awkward, and it won't feel or look as fluid, which is usually what we're striving for. So, if we talk about it again one more time without the step around, I'm going to put the weight on my outside leg, lift my inside leg to passe with my knee already behind the pole, that way it is out of the way. I'm going to take my thumb to the same side as my finger, roll my little finger up towards the ceiling, press the back of my hand to the pole, keeping my body nice and tall and straight as I press the back of my hand to the pole to transition around. Now what's happening here is the pressing of my hand to the back of the pole is what's making my circle happen. If you want, you can use this outside hand to cross the body, thumb and fingers pointing down the pole to help you make that turn as well. But really the top hand is doing most of the work here in your pirouette. Passing on the inside leg, the weight is on the ball of my foot, my heel is slightly lifted from the floor. It doesn't necessarily have to be a full point on that outside leg, just a little bit gentle, lift, and also this leg is very, very straight. Keeping your torso very straight as well by pulling your stomach muscles in nice and tight, and being aware of where your chest is as well. Sometimes things can rock forward and back in our pirouette as we're generating a lot of momentum, but focus on doing it slowly and keeping everything nice and rock solid from your ankle to your knee, stomach, chest, and head all the way through. So, as I was talking about, hand can come across the body for extra help, inside knee to passe, back of the hand to pull, turning underneath your armpit, and those hands pushing against the pole is what's going to help you make that circle around rather than having to force our bodies to turn. So let your hands pressing and sliding against the pole do the work for you. Now, with the pirouette, step around to a pirouette, as you know, we have a full complete circle, weight goes to the outside leg. Once you're here, we are coming from a plie, so you're going to want to extend that leg nice and straight, taking that inside leg to a passe with the knee already behind the pole. Now from here, your hand might be quite low after we've made that plie and we're coming back up again. Roll your back of the hand to the pole and slide your hand up the pole using the back of your hand. So as you transition it out, we can développer the inside leg and transfer the weight back onto it so that we can go into another one. And from a different angle. So step around, outside leg, step, inside leg to passe. Start your wrist roll before you start your turn. Slide your hand up the pole, re-grab, and step out again. So that is your step around to pirouette. Key things to remember here are the wrist roll. Roll your wrist before you start to turn your body. Press your back of the hand to the pole and slide it up as you make that turn. Also pay attention to what the rest of your body is doing. That standing leg should be lovely and straight and strong, and keeping your tummy muscle pulled in tight, chest lifted, keeping a nice solid straight spine and lovely tall stiff body as you come around into your pirouette. So have fun with it, and again, you're never too good to brush up on your technique, so have fun and enjoy.